Turning now to one of the deadliest conflicts in the world. Yemen's civil war has been going on for nearly 3 years. Iran supports one side, while Saudi Arabia supports the other.
More than 10,000 people have died. 2 million others have been displaced amid a horrific cholera epidemic. CBS News foreign correspondent Holly Williams recently got rare access to Yemen thanks to the Saudi government. She was able to see their version of the war.
These fighters are taking us to the front line, which is at the top of this mountain range.
For nearly 3 years, Saudi Arabia has been backing these Yemeni government soldiers, fighting a brutal war against Houthi rebels who have seized swaths of land. Yemeni General Nasser al-Dhebani told us Saudi airstrikes are helping him win back these barren hills. Houthi positions are less than a mile away.
Have you lost family members? Have you lost friends?
Too many.
Holly Williams is back in Istanbul today. Holly, fascinating reporting. What is the state of the war right now? Is there a realistic end to this conflict that's created the worst humanitarian crisis in the world, really?
Well, Anne-Marie, I don't think that there is any end in sight. Yemen was already a desperately poor country before this civil war began. But a Saudi Arabian blockade has contributed to starvation and a deadly cholera outbreak, according to aid groups. 8 million people are on the brink of famine. That's according to the UN. Now, we also met people who said that they had been left homeless and hungry by the opposing side, by Houthi rebels. So this is a place where both sides know that food or a lack of food can be used as a weapon.
You know, Holly, it's so great that you were able to be there and to bring back this report for us. I feel all too often that because we're so focused on what's happening in Washington, D.C., we don't keep up with what is happening around the world. This bombing campaign, though, has triggered international outrage and is blamed for the devastation, disease, starvation that we are now seeing in that war-torn country. What is the U.S.'s role in this war?
Yeah, it's quite a complicated picture, Vlad. So Saudi Arabia is backing Yemeni government forces in their fight against Houthi rebels who have seized swaths of territory. And the US is supporting the Saudi-led coalition with logistics and intelligence. Now, this is a really nasty, brutal war, and both sides are accused of war crimes. But Saudi Arabia is supplied with US weapons and is capable of inflicting much greater damage. And the Saudi-led coalition has hit weddings, markets and schools with airstrikes, according to a UN report.
You know, Vlad mentioned just how important this reporting is. Can you tell us a little bit about just how you went about getting the story that you got? What did you go through?
Sure. Well, look, it's a very difficult place to get into, Yemen, which is why there's been so little reporting on the conflict there. We were given access by the Saudi Arabian government. We were with Yemeni government forces and Yemeni officials, and officials decided where we could and couldn't go. So although we were given access to the front line, we were somewhat constrained in our reporting. And of course, the place we really wanted to go to, that Houthi-controlled territory that has been subjected to airstrikes and that has seen the most devastation from starvation and disease, that was where we couldn't go.
It's just incredible reporting. I mean, the numbers really drive it home. 10,000 people, millions more stricken with disease, starvation. These are hard numbers, and sometimes we sort of lose track of these things because they happen in faraway places. And Holly, your reporting is certainly bringing it home for us. Thank you.
Thanks.